What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Short Clips Podcast, where we break down the mess, the music, and everything in between. Today, we're talking about something spicy. Top 5 saying Drake cosigns are dead. Yeah, that Drake. The same Drake people used to pray would just post their song one time. So if Drake cosigns are dead now, what does that say about the game, the culture, and the artists still chasing that stamp? Let's get into it. First, we gotta be real. For a long time, a Drake cosign was like a golden ticket. A verse from Drake, a repost on his IG story, even a little club clip with your song playing in the background, that could turn a local buzz into a global moment overnight. We've seen artists go from who is that to oh yeah, I heard them on that Drake record in a matter of days. Drake's brand became bigger than just his own music. He turned into a walking, talking playlist placement. If he stood next to you, people automatically wanted to check you out. So when somebody like Top 5 comes out and says Drake cosigns are dead, that's not just a little opinion. That's like saying the cheat code doesn't work anymore. Now let's talk about what dead really means here. When people say a cosign is dead, they usually don't mean literally worthless. What they really mean is it doesn't guarantee success anymore. It doesn't automatically turn you into a superstar. It doesn't hit like it did when the internet was smaller and the culture moved slower. Back then, if Drake touched your song, it felt rare. Now the game is crowded. There's TikTok, Reels, Shorts, playlists, micro-influencers, and a new song of the week every 3 hours. So even if you get that Drake look, you're competing with 10,000 other songs dropping that same night. The cosign might give you a spike, but can it carry you anymore? That's the real question. From Top 5's angle, you can hear a little frustration in that statement too, whether he admits it or not. Because when you're close enough to the big cosign to feel it, but not all the way where you want to be, you see both sides. You see how powerful the brand is, but you also see how the industry will still play you, ignore you, or move on once the moment is over. That's when a cosign starts to feel less like I made it, and more like I got a teaser trailer, but the full movie never dropped. The streets might know you, your city might know you, but the world? They scroll right past you once the hype wears off. So when Top 5 says Drake cosigns are dead, part of that is him pointing at the machine. Y'all think this is the key, but look around. How many people really stayed up after the cosign? We also got to talk about the ego factor. A Drake cosign used to be the ultimate validation. Artists would rearrange their whole sound just to fit into that space, just to get noticed. Some people switched styles, switched regions in their lyrics, even switched their entire personality just to chase that OVO aura. Now, fans are more jaded. Cool, Drake likes you, what you sound like. Can you make a project that we care about after the cosign? Because once the Drake feature is over and the hype dies down, it's just you and your catalog. And if your catalog is mid, no cosign in the world can cover that up anymore. We're in an era where fans want to connect with your story, not just your connections. At the same time, let's not act like Drake's cosign is the same as a random repost from some regular influencer. It still moves the needle. It still gets blog posts, still gets reaction videos, still gets people checking your name. But here's where Top 5 might actually have a point. The value of a cosign has dropped because the value of attention itself has dropped. We're oversaturated. Everyone's breaking the internet, going viral, dropping the hardest track of the year every week. So a Drake cosign now is like adding one more loud voice to an already crowded room. It still matters, but it doesn't echo like it used to. The internet doesn't freeze in time anymore when Drake does something. It just scrolls to the next thing. Another angle. The game has shifted from cosign driven to algorithm driven. Back in the day, a cosign from a superstar, a cosign from a DJ, a cosign from a big radio host could literally unlock the door for you. Now, that door is controlled by playlist curators, For You pages, trending sounds, and random kids in their bedroom making dances. Some artists are blowing up with zero big name cosigns. They go viral on TikTok, people Shazam the song, it hits playlists, and by the time big artists notice them, they're already solid. The cosign becomes a bonus, not the foundation. So when Top 5 says Drake cosigns are dead, he might really be saying, the streets and the algorithm don't care who stamped you, they care if the music sticks. But here's where it gets messy. If Drake called 90% of these rappers tomorrow and said, pull up, I got a verse for you, they would sprint to the studio. Forget saying cosigns are dead. They'd be posting studio pics, captions with owl emojis, telling the world it's up. So a lot of people talking like cosigns don't matter are still secretly chasing that same industry validation. They just don't want to admit it until it lands on their lap. Top 5 saying it out loud stirs the pot because he's close enough to that world that it hits different. It's not some random hater from the comments. It's someone who's actually seen that behind the scenes energy, that politics, that selective love. End of the day, here's the truth. A Drake cosign alone won't save you, but acting like it's completely worthless is cap 2. The real difference now is what you do after the cosign. Can you drop consistent music, build your own fan base, stand on your own name without somebody else's logo on your back? Because the artists who last are the ones who turn that cosign into a launch pad, not a lifeline. Top 5 saying Drake cosigns are dead is less about Drake and more about the culture waking up to the reality that you can't skip the grind. Even with the biggest artist in the world standing next to you, you still got to carry your own weight, build your own world, and make fans care about you when the feature is over. I'ma leave y'all with this. Are Drake cosigns really dead? Or are we just finally realizing that no one man, no one feature, no one screenshot can replace real work, real music, and real connection? Let me know what you think in the comments. That's it for this one. Thank you for watching, and if you're rocking with these breakdowns, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the Short Clips podcast. Turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss the next upload, and I'll catch you on the next one.